Here we go. Here we go. All right. Good
live?
morning, everybody.
Are we live?
I think
Are
we
we live?
are. I think we're live. I think we're live. Unfortunately, I don't know if anybody can follow news and notes or whatever. I can't. I'm not on social media. I'm just following.
I think it goes on automatically.
So I've got the chat up there. See if anybody's listening. Right now, I got 0. It's a little early yet. Just got on. People don't start tuning in until
9:01
5.
our Walden time.
Yep, we're good. We're
So, hey, good
across the
morning.
globe.
So we got Mr. Rich Wozlick.
What's
and
up?
We got Scott Fryer. He's
Morning.
back.
Good morning.
So
You made it
we're,
back.
we're here to talk about anything and everything. But I think
Finally got invited back.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I saw him at Cranky's a week or so ago and
Nice.
talked to him. And
Good.
I said, hey, Friday would be a good time if you can make it.
Yeah.
So I texted him. He said, yeah, I'll be there. Luckily,
Awesome.
because Paul ended up going to a meeting today, so he's not going to make it. And then Kathy ended up having a scheduled meeting, so she wasn't going to
Perfect.
make it. So
Worked out. Things happen for a reason.
I dropped
yeah.
mine for you.
And he had a safety meeting
That's
this
right.
morning.
I
He
took
took-
an extended breakfast break to come
That's
in.
it. So anyway, it's good to have you, gentlemen.
Good to be
And,
here.
I got my American flag shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got your Navy shirt on, torpedoman
Yes,
shirt
sir.
on.
Is that what you did
Nice.
in the Navy?
Yep.
Yep.
You loaded the torpedoes? That was your job?
I did. I maintained them.
Okay.
Load and maintain.
Maintain the torpedo tubes, torpedoes,
Physical security.
all that stuff.
We were physical security for the
Yep.
ship.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You guys have to pull the pins on them before you put them in the tube? I learned that recently. something like
That does not happen.
No?
No, there is none of that.
Okay.
It's we don't pull pins, but you hook cables to it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And so the warheads on those things are missiles and torpedoes are not active. I mean, they're there. There's still explosives there, but they're not like they have to have a bunch of different things happen before they're armed.
Okay.
So it isn't like you just pull a
bunch of
pin like a
safeties.
missile,
Yeah.
like a plane when you pull the pin.
Right, yeah.
There's a bunch of safeties.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have to happen
Yeah.
in order for that.
I'm sure you guys
Warhead
are happy
to be
about
armed.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to say accidents couldn't happen,
Yep.
but there's a lot of things that would have to go wrong for it to
Yeah,
happen.
because what was it? One of the ships in World War II blew up when it hit the missile. Cargo,
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of things would have
Yep.
to go wrong.
Yeah.
It would be a really bad day.
Bad day. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, especially if you're, way down deep.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel it. That would be
No,
the
it'd be
best
quick.
part.
Yeah.
It'd be quick.
It would be quick.
You would never know. Yeah.
It'd be quick. As soon as you realize something's wrong, it's over.
You wouldn't even. I don't even think it would register.
Really.
So I don't know, and I don't want to know.
I don't ever.
So there you go.
I never will know.
No,
Yeah, that's-
Those days are over.
Yeah.
No, you're retired.
Long gone.
Retired
Long gone.
Navy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did the Navy only for 6. I was a lightweight. I only did 6.
But I didn't.
And,
I didn't duck out before my unit deployed. So
Mhm.
Oh.
No, I went on 4 years on the sub myself. So went on every deployment that I think I missed one because I had to leave. But yeah,
I did 11 total in my time.
I can't. Well, I was on a fast attack, so it was like we were out and back.
You said it
Yeah.
pretty quick.
So
4
we
weeks
did
or
a
something?
med run. So we were over there for several months. I think we were there for 4 months.
I totaled it up. I mean, I don't know the exact number of days. It was just an estimate because every time it was different.
Yeah.
But we totaled it up for as many deployments as I wanted. It was almost 6 years total spent
to
on
sea.
deployment
Yeah.
of my 24. Yeah.
Underwater, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not the whole time underwater
Okay.
because you do get to go to ports,
Mhm.
visit ports. Some deployments where you get to visit ports, but it was just for a quick maintenance, quick upkeep because we were on mission. There are other deployments I went on that was more of a cruise than a deployment
Okay.
where you just went port to port. And, I was begging for some time at sea for my liver to replace itself. So, it was
Yeah.
a lot of times it was just, there was other times where we were out for 3-4 months and without seeing sunshine. So that was always a good time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Felt like
the part I would
Nosferatu when you come
Yeah.
when you see the sun. You're,
I don't think I would like that. I'd rather be on
Yeah.
a surface ship, probably. I think.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the whole rocking. I've seen videos of ships being out there, especially in the North Sea, where it's just.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on that.
All over
Yeah.
the place. Really does
Yeah.
go up. Okay.
Well, even
That's
as
not
far
for me.
down, depending on how far you go down in a submarine, you can still feel it.
You can. I've been down at 300-400 feet where you still feel the
Oh,
ocean
yeah.
pretty
Wow.
good. Yeah. especially up north in the North Sea, in the Arctic.
You have to come up and ventilate or send out messages or whatever.
Not
like
a good
that,
time. Not a good time.
And the chefs get all ticked off because now their soup's spilling everywhere.
Yeah, see, I was never one. Like, I'm not a seasick guy. I've only gotten seasick one time in my entire life, and it wasn't even on. It was on a ferry from Ellis Island to the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah. Drank too much coffee that morning, and we were waiting for the ferry to go back.
Yeah,
and I had too much coffee that day, and the diesel fumes were kind of like from the ferry were kind of blowing on me.
Oh.
Right, and I could smell it, and then the boat was moving a little bit, and immediately nauseous. But other than that, all the years I spent on submarines, I never got seasick.
Fisher's Island, Block Island, I got sick.
Yeah. I used to make fun of the guys that did.
Yeah.
So I used to, be on watch, up in control, standing diving officer, and my plainsman would be feeling kind of sick. They have the trash bag, and I would be like, hey, how about a nice greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray?
Absolutely. It was funny because my wife came down on the boat one time when we were just got married, and we were I was on duty for Thanksgiving. So she came down the boat to have Thanksgiving dinner with us. And
nice.
She said, I'm never going to go down that boat again. That's just way too small for me.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know how you can put up with it. I said, you get used to it.
Is it as tight as the one?
Everybody says that, like, I don't know if I could do it, but it's not as small as everybody says. And then after you're there for, even if it's just a few days, you get used to it. It's just like being locked in your house.
Not as small as the
with
Nautilus.
No windows. What's that?
Not as small as the Nautilus.
Not that small at all.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Virginia class isn't much bigger than that because there's so much equipment and high tech stuff.
You were mostly on boomers?
I've never been on a boomer. Proudly can say I'd never stepped foot on the hull of a boomer.
Yeah. I was just fast attack. So
fast attack my whole life. Yeah. Two sturgeon class, 2 Los Angeles class, and a Virginia class.
Skipjack class. So I was a little bit bigger than Nautilus.
Yeah, barely.
That was the next class after the Nautilus.
Really?
Yeah, skipjack class.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah. 110 people, basically.
Yeah. How many couples came up?
Funny. Today, I don't know. Probably,
never heard that one before. Yeah.
Well, today, now it's, now you got, matter of fact, I found out that, it was Tina's granddaughter. I think she told me it's going to be a sonar tech.
Nice.
In the Navy.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
It was after my time, and there's a lot of old timers like us that really hate that policy. But you know what? To me, a sailor is a sailor. So if there's a woman that comes on board and she can do the same job as a man, I'm all for it. Because a sailor is a sailor to me. Mm-hmm. As a supervisor, I want sailors that can do the job. And I don't care if you're a man, you're a woman, if you're undecided. I don't care. I just want you to be able to do the job. And that's that whole thing with, allowing gays in the military. Again, they've been there the whole time.
Absolutely.
They've been there the whole time. Right. And I don't care. Yeah. I don't care what race you are, what religion you are, what sexuality you are. As long as I can trust you to have my back when things go south. Yeah. That's what if you got my 6, I got your 6, and that's all I care about.
I was going to say safety wise, that's what I was thinking for the woman and say the gays and stuff. Is there a lot of is it as violent as they make it out to be in the media?
No. It's all sensationalized. It's like everything else. It's sensationalized for the media. And I can't speak for the surface fleet, but the submarine force, we're all for one and one for all. You might have certain feelings about things, but when you step on board the ship and we close that hatch, it means nothing.
You're all working for
I didn't love everybody.
I had a roommate who was gay.
Yeah, you
didn't care.
I didn't care. Yeah. Left whatever.
Put a sock on
whatever he did, it was just,
Don't care.
Well, after that, I said, you need to do something so I know before I come back to the room.
Don't care. Live your life, man.
But the thing is
like every other life, every other field of work, whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Live your life.
Did his job on the boat. Everybody did their job.
That's
on the
what
boat.
I'm talking about.
That's all that matters. So
nice.
That's the thing about the service. It's a team concept. You learn a lot about team.
Yes.
That's why.
Well, I got a comment here on Ross Dog's Broken Spirit. It says, let's discuss Scotty the Miracle Worker.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Oh. Okay. Apparently, So anyway,
Lost Dog's Broken Spirit. No. Okay. Don't know who that is. Identify yourself.
Anyway, so what's going on? You wanted to bring something up and then talk about something.
Yeah. So I'm on the leadership council for a veterans organization called Irreverent Warriors.
Yep.
And we bring veterans together using humor and camaraderie to improve mental health and prevent veteran suicide. And that's our motto. And we do this by we have things called vet togethers at local businesses.
Yep.
It could be a bar, it could be a movie. We went to see Deadpool 3 together. Sometimes we have pizza nights. We'll have a social at a local brewery. We do things like that. We had a pancake breakfast at Billy Wilson's in Norwich a few weeks ago for a fundraiser. But we do all those things. And our main goal is to raise money for our annual event that we hold in Norwich every year. It's the Silkies hike. For people that are not familiar with Silkies, they are the very short and very revealing, I guess you'd say, shorts that the military gives you for PT.
I was thinking strip club. That's what.
Yeah, they're basically underwear.
Yeah,
and yeah, it's basically a really shorts. It's not quite a Speedo, but it's pretty darn close. So anyway, we wear those and we hike through Norwich. It's usually around 12 miles. From our starting point, we hit a couple local establishments, including Cangio, which is a restaurant in Norwich. They provide our food for us. They do a great meal. Julio and his staff do a great job. And then we stop at one of my favorite places in Connecticut, which is also one of my employers, is Epicure Brewing. Mm-hmm. And we stop there for a couple beers. They provide beers for us. That's where usually this year, that's where Julio is going to serve his meal. We're having some surprises there this year. I can't really reveal. It's going to be actual fun. Cool. And we march. It's around 12 miles, and we march with full rucks.
I was going to say with a ruck.
Yep, full rucks, and we end at Mohegan Sun. And Mohegan Sun does a great job supporting us. This year, we're having our banquet, our end of the hike banquet, at a pretty cool spot. We take a group photo by the fountain, and it's really, really great because it's only open to veterans, active duty, reservists, and guards.
Okay.
Retired.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, you could come and hike with us. Do it in combat boots. Some people do sneakers. I prefer the boots.
I don't have combat boots.
Huh?
I got.
But it's good. But
we'll order you a pair.
It's a time for us, right? I'll get you some. It's a time for us to get together.
I didn't wear too many combat boots on a submarine. Let's put it that way.
It's a day for us to get together. We usually have a couple hundred people, and everyone's carrying flags, and it's very patriotic.
Yep.
We get together just to be with each other, for people that understand each other. You know Wayne, and you're part of a brotherhood. You're a first responder. You're part of a brotherhood. You understand it, right? But it's for us to understand. And I wish that the general public could see the things that happen during this, because just talking to somebody, you talk to people I've made so many friends that I've never met before on this hike. Just by you walk with them and you start talking and you find out about these people. And sometimes these people are struggling, and that's why they're there. And that's what we're trying to do. Right. Because just saying hello to somebody and then listening to them for 30 minutes while you're hiking, while they're walking with you, that means so much to those people. Like someone really listens, somebody gets it, and someone listens. And, as you guys have heard before, and I've said it before here on the show, we lose an average 22 veterans a day to suicide. Yep. And that's one too many. And it is my life's mission, my life's goal, to prevent even one person from doing that every single day. You both follow me on social media. Well, you're not, because you're not on it. Yeah. But you know that I'm always posting about men's mental health. Yep. And it's not just men, but men in particular, because of the stigma of men's mental health. And you shouldn't show weakness, and that's all crap. It's all crap. It used to be, when we were all alpha males in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, and especially in the military, when you're around all the other men and everyone's trying to be the biggest dog on the porch.
Yep.
You don't ever want to show signs of weakness. But so many guys, we lose so many people because they push that down. They push that feeling down, and they don't know how to deal with it. And then it becomes to the point where it's too late. It's too much for them, and they can't go on. And we try to provide that outlet where they can come to us and they can come talk to us. And if they have a problem, somebody who's like, I might not know what you're going through, but I can relate because I've been there. I've been there, especially if you've had mental health struggles yourself and you've overcome them by using that outreach system, by using your friends and your battle buddies.
Yeah.
You know, we may not have all seen combat, but we've all gone through things that, you know, a civilian may or may not have gone through or been through. And it's just a way for us to get together. And listen, you might just go and just have a great time, and that's fine. But you're around other people that are all like-minded. They're all Americans. They've all been out there. You chewed the same dirt as them or swam in the same ocean as them, wherever it may be. You've done that. And people that are the same as you are more apt to open up to the people that they can relate to, right? Does that make sense? Right.
I've been listening to a podcast a lot, Sean Ryan.
Yep.
And they're big on mental health. And one of the things you think people don't realize, whether you're military, first responder, it's the change in life when you're coming back from one place to another. Just the lifestyle change can be traumatizing. You know, just like even going public safety, shift to shift. You get on shift all the whole time and you go home.
And you see things that
change,
normal people, I don't say normal people, but you know what I mean. Like see things that a regular person who doesn't do this job you'd never want to see, and you have to deal with that. Right. And that's part of the job. And you accept that, right? We all accept that these dangers, these inherent dangers and these feelings that's part of the job. You understand that when you take the job, because it's never going to be, hey, I'm just going to show up to work, put out a fire and go home.
Right.
It's always something that you never expect and you never want to see.
Yep.
Right. And you'll never forget that you've seen it.
Fire would be the easy part.
Yeah, exactly. And same with the military.
That's just property.
Yeah. You deal with things that, you know, the average person, the average citizen doesn't get to see.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to minimize anyone's problems, because listen, I don't care who you are. If you have some mental health issues and you're struggling, whether you're 12 or 92, I will listen to you. Right. And I always say I would much rather listen to your story than read your obituary. Right. It hurts me. I take it, I'm going to say personally, but I take it very hard when I find that someone took their own life because there was no other way out. And I wish that person, whether I knew them or not, I wish I would have had a chance to talk to them and listen to them, because they felt like nobody cared or there was no other way. Yeah. And there's always another way, because there's always somebody that cares about you. There's always somebody who loves you, and always somebody who cares and will listen to you. And unfortunately, for some people, for far too many people, they're beyond that. And again, I can only speak from my experience. It's mostly the men, because they are too proud to go ask for help.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to think. All the friends I've had that have killed themselves have been men.
Yeah.
No women.
And you know, I'll share something with you guys. Years ago, I had some mental health issues. It was a battle of depression. I wasn't to the point where I wanted to hurt myself, but I pushed it down and pushed it down. It was after I retired from the military, and it just built up over time. It was going on for a long time. You know, I would find myself on base after I retired for no reason, not knowing why I was on base, just because I missed that part of my life. It was 24 years of my life that I did that.
Sure. Yep.
And it was gone. And I didn't have that same sense of purpose. I didn't have the same sense of belonging. I have great friends. I have a great family, and there's nothing against any of them. It just wasn't the same. So I fought that for a long time, and I didn't tell anybody because I was a little bit embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to know that I was struggling, which was completely stupid on my part.
Yeah, because you would be showing a weakness.
And then because I mean, I'm a torpedo man. I'm alpha plus male. We're the alpha males on the ship, right? Yep. Torpedo men, we're the big man. We pick things up and put them down, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't want anyone to know that I was struggling, and which was, again, completely stupid on my part, because my mental health started to affect my physical health. Like, things were happening to me and I didn't understand why, and it was scaring me. And I'm like, maybe just I'm tired or this or that. But no. But finally I had an anxiety attack, and I had to go to the emergency room, and I thought I was having a heart attack. You know, I would be literally driving and not remember how I got to where I was going. And it was weird, and I felt awful all the time. And I came home, my blood pressure was absolutely through the roof. And Brenda said, listen, you need to go to the hospital right now. And I went, and they hooked me up they thought I was having a heart attack too. It turns out I just had a really bad anxiety attack. And that was the day I took control of my mental health. Wow. You know, I never said I'm never going to talk to a therapist. That's not for me. That's for, you know, people who don't know how to deal with things themselves. So I was very against the whole therapy, talking to a stranger or telling a stranger my problems. But I decided for not just for myself, but for my family, for my kids, for my wife, for my mom and dad, for everybody who loves me. I did it for them too.
Yep.
And because it was the best, I wasn't giving them the best version of me. And that was what I wanted to get back. So I went and I saw a therapist for about 6 weeks. And I decided one day I'm done. I don't need it. I feel great. I haven't been back. She helped me, give me tools to help when I feel myself starting to get to the point where I'm losing it again. Tools to help me recognize that and get out in front of it and block it. And thankfully, I haven't gotten to that point in a really, really long time.
Wow. Yeah, but you stay involved. And
I do. I stay involved.
To pass that kind of experience along, right?
And you guys know me. I do all the things. And that helps me. Good. Sitting around, you get into your own head sometimes. That's why, you know, Mike teases me all the time. He says, "Is there anything you don't do?" Well, that's because it's therapy for me. You know, being part of this leadership team for this awesome organization with people that I love, that are side by side with me, that helps.
It's a way of taking control.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, working at the brewery once a week. Sure. I'm around people that I love and care about.
Right.
Doing something I love.
Yeah.
And that helps. Spending time with my wife and my kids. You know, my kids are older now. They're all off doing their own thing. And that kind of bothered me, like a little bit affected me. It didn't bother me because I don't want it to come out wrong, but it affected me because my kids were always home. We were always doing stuff together. Now my son's off in college. My daughter's doing her own thing.
Empty house syndrome.
Yeah.
Rich. Yeah. Rich is starting to go through that phase.
Yes. And that's nothing against my wife. She's amazing. I love her. But hey,
yeah, we get it. It's understandable.
It's different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it was that. So I started getting involved in more things. I'm coaching again, which is absolute best therapy I could possibly have. I'm around these kids who all make me feel young again. It's fun. I enjoy it. It's a lot of work sometimes. I'm exhausted when I come home from practice after working a full day and then going to a couple hours of practice in Groton and coming home. I'm exhausted, but it's absolutely the best thing for me. Yes, I'm busy. Yes, I don't have a lot of time, but I always try to make time for my family and my friends just to get that in. And it helps. And if there's anybody out there, whether you know me or not, I'm willing to listen. I will listen to your story. If you want to just talk, because again, sometimes talking to that complete stranger, that could help, because I promise you that somebody cares, and I care, whether I know you or not. Because nobody needs to lose their mom, their dad, their son, their daughter.
Even if they're a Red Sox fan?
Even if they're... But I know right now they especially need some extra help. So, and being a Giants fan, I know how that feels. So, yes, anyone that wants, I will absolutely listen to you, talk to you, share things with you, whatever it takes to get you to go get help and to not make that choice that, listen, I get it. I used to say I don't get why people do it, but I do get why people do it, because they feel like there's no other way. But I also feel like when they make that decision, they're so far gone that they don't realize the ripple effect that it has on their family and friends. No. Right. Yeah. And that's where I wanted to keep people from getting to that point where, you know, to recognize, hey, you pull them out of it and say, listen, I know how you feel and I know it's bad, and I don't, yes, it's about you, but it's really not about you, right? Because think about your family, think about your children, think about your wife or your husband, your mom and dad, or your brother or sister. How is this gonna happen? Have you talked to them? Yeah. Right? Have you talked to them? And they're like, no, I don't want people to think I'm a coward, or I think I'm this. And that leads to things that are bad. And as a member of this organization, it's absolutely my mission. And that's why I joined, because it was my mission before then. But I believe in this mission so much that I wanted to be involved as much as I possibly could. And we're doing great things. I mean, we raise a lot of money. A lot of local businesses get in and they help us. And it's great. The hike I look forward to the hike every single year. It's a great time to spend with great people. And you have a little fun. And you might have a serious talk or two with somebody, but that's okay. That's what we're there. That's what it's for. So I appreciate you guys letting me talk about that
That's
today
awesome.
because
no problem.
it's something that's super, super important
Never
to me.
heard of it before. That's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's called Irreverent Warriors. There are so many chapters. Just about every state has a chapter. Some states have a couple chapters. Massachusetts has 2.
Wow.
They have 3 actually. They have Milford, Worcester, and Boston.
Mm.
We just have, we're under one umbrella. We have IW Connecticut. It used to be Norwich, but there's so many of us throughout the state now. We're just IW Connecticut. Just our hike is based out of Norwich.
Okay.
Yep. You have a website and all that?
Yes, it's Irreverent Warriors. Just go to look it up. Facebook. I'll put it on my page.
Yep.
And it's great. You can find out about our mission, what you can do to help, because we do take volunteers, civilian volunteers, because everybody's like, I want to do it, but you can't because it's just for us.
Sure.
But we do take volunteers.
Yep.
Like people want to come. We have civilian medics that will come because you're walking 12 miles with a bunch of out of shape dudes like me. You need some medics there
Are they walking too?
Oh yeah, they walk.
Yeah.
We have support vehicles that follow us with water. We actually, a couple years ago, we actually got a bathroom truck. We have
really?
We have 2 porta potties on the back of a flatbed. So whenever we stop for a rest or we stop for whatever we're doing, people just jump in and use the porta potties. Yeah,
wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just helping out if I could.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always you're medic certified, so we could always use a medic.
Okay.
Always. So I'll get with you afterwards and we'll talk about it and let you know what you can do to help. But
That'd be cool.
yeah, I'm always trying to share, and like I said, we're doing the hike is September 21st out of Norwich.
Okay.
And coming up August 24th at Epicure Brewing, who, by the way, let me say, are the greatest supporters that I know of our military, our veteran community, our active duty community. The folks at Epicure, Rob and Jobina and Jimbo, they do so much for us. And I appreciate them, and they're great people to work for. And I love them so much. We're doing an event for Irreverent Warriors Norwich. The 24th, we're going to do. I'm working that night anyway, so I will be behind the bar. But some of my colleagues from Irreverent Warriors leadership team and the ambassadors, we're going to be tending bar that night for tips. So if you guys aren't doing anything on August 24th from 5 to 9, a Saturday night, come down, have a beer, throw some money in the tip jar for us.
Spouses allowed to show up?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll drag MB down there.
Yeah. I'll put it out on my socials and it'll be out there. But yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Good.
It's going to be a good time.
All right.
That's great stuff.
And I understand where you're coming from about trying to keep busy because I retired in November and it was like, so how am I going to keep myself busy? You know, although I was already busy running for office, you know, but you know, now, and then I joined, you know, Fire Police with Jewett City and doing a couple committees and things like that and staying involved in the town. And of course you got a couple granddaughters that keep you busy too. Oh, yeah. But yeah, you got to keep yourself busy because if you don't, you're just going to sit there. I mean, I'm a golfer, but how much golfing can you do? You know,
I'm a golfer too, but I use that term very loosely.
Well, right now
I'm
it's
better than a hacker, but I'm not quite at the golfer stage. Yeah. So I'm sort of in that purgatory.
Swinging the ball goes forward.
Yeah, I'm working. I'm trying to work my way back. It's been tough. I've had this big project in my backyard. I'm trying to get done. That's it. You know how that is. Yeah. Once you think you're retired and you got plenty of time to do
all the time in the world to do all these things, and then you're over your head. Yeah.
You're busy.
No, but one of the, like it's called CIT, critical intervention training.
Yep.
One of the things we went through was mental health and how to assist someone on the first responder level, not a family or that. But one of the biggest things they were talking about was people in like military, public safety, and all that. When they retire, get ready to retire, it's a big transition, and that's when a lot of them end up falling into a depression because now they don't feel like they're that alpha male anymore.
Absolutely.
And they lose control, and a lot of them they found spiraled into a deep depression. And so one of the things I was asking was, do you guys have a transition program from?
Yes. So there is. It's mandatory that we go when you retire. When you're even just when you're transitioning out of the military, doesn't mean doesn't necessarily retirement. There are retirement seminars that are separate.
Okay.
But everyone has to go to. I think it's called TAPS, Transition Assistant Program, and basically it's like 3 or 4 days, and it's off the base. So you get out of that. It's in civilian clothes. You don't have to wear your uniform. So they get you comfortable, and then they talk about all the different things that are available to you, all the ways they can help. And they have a whole half a day on mental health. And what you can do and where you can go and how you do things, job assistance, interviewing skills, things that the skills you didn't really learn in the military because most people make it a career or spend a long time in the military.
It's only one day, huh?
Well, just for that,
Yeah.
it's 3 or 4 days long. Oh no, they used to have it at the Groton Motor Inn when I did it. I don't know where they do it anymore, if they still do it there, but they have people from the VA come and speak. They have medical people come in. They have college people come in. They have employers come in. They have a guy who specializes in the motivational speaker guy. They have a guy coming in that teaches you how to write your resume and help you with that. All the different things that you should know. That when you get out, because they would just be like, hey, see ya, here's your DD-214 and send you on your way.
Even no matter what field you're in, military, public safety, that's so demanding psychologically.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you retire, you have that cake and little dinner, and it's like,
okay, now what?
Peace out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And then you got to find something else to do, which is
in the job market.
I got to hand it to my wife. I hand it to my wife because she was always. So now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right. Now you're retired. You got to do. So you got to keep busy. You got to do something. Right. It's basically get out of my house. Get out of my hair.
Yeah. I mean, listen. It took me a long time to find a job. I mean, I had all the training in the world, all the skill in the world, all the experience in the world, but because I was 42 at the time, I was a little long in the tooth for some of these people. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of, hey, we love you. We love you. What you got going on, but we're looking for somebody a lot younger, which I understood. I didn't get offended by that because, I mean, you can't stop time. That's the only thing you can't stop.
You got a good 20 something years left after that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to retire from my government job now. I'm going to retire and I forgot I have the exact countdown going on. It's like 1,700 days, but I'll retire in August of 2027, hopefully. That'll be when I'm eligible to retire. I'll be 57 years old.
And then you have a second retirement.
And then there'll be 2 retirements because I have a pension from the Navy, and I'll have a pension from the government plus my 401k.
I'm sure you'll keep working after that.
I'll be absolutely going to.
You're counting that 401k right now?
Well, yeah. I'm afraid to look at my statement next month.
Right?
Neither one of us, my wife or I, like to look at our statement.
Yeah,
they say don't look.
Yeah, that. Hopefully, that 401k can buy me my RV. That's what I'm counting on it. But yeah, I mean, I'll be able to have a third career. I'll be able to be 57 years old, and I'll be able to go 2 pensions. I'll be able to go out and do something, not feeling I need to earn X amount of money to live. Hopefully, our economy gets better, but I'll be able to go out and do something else I love. Like if I had to choose today, I'd either want to go into full-time coaching or I want to go work at a brewery brewing. Because I spent the whole day yesterday brewing, again, Epicure.
Wow.
Special beer for the Silky's Hike in September. I went and represented our community yesterday, and I brewed the special beer for our event.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Nice. But I love doing that, and that's the science behind it is so interesting, and it's a lot of fun. It's hard work. It's not glamorous. Yeah. There's a lot of cleaning. Right? It's like 90% cleaning.
Oh, I'm sure.
But the whole science behind it, and people that do it, I find do it because they love it. No one becomes a brewer because they feel like they have to. It's a job and I have to go do it. Right. And if you do that, your beer is not very good.
Well, I know a few people that before they retired, they started getting into the microbrewery stuff and doing their own thing down in their own house or basement.
Yeah. I've done it before. It's fun. But like I can speak for Jimbo down at Epicure. He loves his craft. He's great at it. He's always trying to learn. Even though he makes really great, really, really good beer, he's always trying to find ways to improve. Right. So he's always asking, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think? How do you think about that? How did that go? And you can tell just by the level, the amount the beer at Epicure has improved over the last couple of years that he really, since he took over, it's been a renaissance for them.
Okay. Good.
And it's been great. So yeah, it's been there again. I can't stress enough how great those people are over at Epicure.
Yeah. We'll have to find out where it's at and we'll have to show up.
Franklin Street, Norwich. You know where these guys is?
Where?
These guys brewing. You know where the old Billy Wilson's is?
No.
God. You know where Franklin Street is?
No.
I probably drove down it. I don't know Norwich that well. I try to
get out of Griswold,
Norwich.
Wayne.
No, like we talked about when I worked at Millstone, it was from my house to Millstone and back, pretty much.
Yeah.
And since I've been in the fire police stuff, now I know all the streets.
Yeah.
In Jewett City and Griswold now, pretty much, because you get a call here, call there.
Oh, you're the fire police now?
Yeah.
Now I know. You know how I know you're old? You're in the fire police.
Yeah. This guy's trying to get me to be a driver for a truck.
There you go. That's fun.
I don't think so. So
you can do it.
Because I don't know. Listen, not stereotyping, but every single fire policeman that I see is always that guy. That guy. Got gray hair, got glasses.
Well, I do wear glasses for reading.
Yes.
I don't wear them while, you might see me in sunglasses out there or something like that. But, the thing is, though, when I look around the room, I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Police.
But it's a necessary.
It is.
It's something necessary. So hats off to you for doing that.
Tell me, they are the lifesaver of everybody else.
Correct. Yeah. We joke around, but
we look out. Well, these guys are focused on the actual event, actually doing the hard work. We're there to protect them from getting any traffic.
You're taking the assault from the community.
Right. You're not letting me see what's going on.
Yeah.
How can I post on Griswold now if I've
had the middle finger salute here or there. I got to get over there. How am I supposed to get over there? I said, I don't know, but I can't.
You're not getting over there.
You're not getting over there. At this moment, you're not getting over.
How am I supposed to post on Griswold now if I don't know what's going on? Right.
That's it.
I had a taste of it at the sunflower race.
Yes, he did.
Did you?
So there's one rude lady. We got to get to there from here. You can't. Well, this is unacceptable.
Okay.
Just how about you just get back in your car?
Right. You've heard that before. Write your congressman.
Write your congressman. Yeah.
They care. Yeah, I've done it. I used to road guard for Reason to Ride all the time when I rode with the Freedom Riders. Mm-hmm. I would be a road guard, blocking traffic when the 500, 1,000 bikes drove by.
Yeah.
I'd block traffic and people would get angry. And I've had a couple of people drive around me. Mm-hmm. But I mean, listen, I'm not going to throw myself in front of a car.
Yeah.
But people do it because they lose patience. Mm-hmm. And I understand that. I completely understand that.
Pull out my phone, take a picture of license plate, turn it over to the cops.
There you
go.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to tell them was, it's unacceptable. I'm sorry, these people are running a race for charity.
Yeah.
And it's unacceptable.
They don't care. But you have to get the dunks to pick up your mobile order.
Or riding motorbikes for veterans or whatever they're doing, right? So it's
your life is severely interrupted for 10 minutes.
And in some cases, if because I followed the Reason to Ride a month or two ago, and put me out by Tracy Ave and Ashland Street and Main Street there, that fun place. And, I let people go until I saw the bikes starting to come down the road. And then you stop them. And then you alert the next group down in the next intersection.
They're on their way.
So they're on their way.
Yep.
And you don't even need to say that because you hear them.
You hear them way before you see them.
Ground shaking.
Yeah.
Good stuff. They had their own spotters too, because they would stop. They had guys that would stop at certain intersections and take over for the cop, because you had the state police that was leading. Then I think you had the fire truck at the end, right?
Yeah,
that was behind them. Service truck at the end. And so it was well coordinated, and I would tell people, hey, the bikes are coming. You can turn around and go the other way or whatever, but I can't let you go through.
Yeah, it's that's tough because you have to be stern about it. And people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. This year, I actually worked pre-ride stuff. I worked at the Legion over there in Plainfield. We set up a tent for Reverend Warriors, and we're spreading our message. And we had some hats and t-shirts.
You showed up for Heroes Day.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I think I was in New Jersey for that.
Yeah. Well, think about it next year.
Yes.
Yeah, for Heroes Day, have a tent set up.
Yeah, because Ryan actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be part of it, and I was away. We had a golf trip planned, so I couldn't be there for that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it can't be everywhere. You got to have some fun.
Yeah, I have to have a little fun sometimes. I just finished my high school lacrosse season. I just finished coaching, and it was like my first weekend off since February.
And you had a successful year down there,
Yes,
right?
we did. Yeah. We had a fantastic year. We ended up 16-4 overall. Mm-hmm. We had a couple losses in the playoffs. We lost in the semifinals to East Lyme for the conference. Mm-hmm. Another close game. We played them 3 times over the season, and we lost to them. We beat them, and then we lost in the semifinals. And so it was a close game. The first 2 games were 1-goal games, and the last one was 2 goals. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we finished the regular season 14-2.
Wow.
We went to the state quarterfinals. So it was the best year in the history of Fitch High School lacrosse.
You got many players coming back next year? Or?
I lost 9 kids.
Okay.
7 of them were starters. So it's going to be a little tough, but I have a great group.
Yeah.
I have some good kids coming in. It'll be a little bit of a challenge because of the leadership I lost last year.
Yeah.
But my senior class, very small this year. I think I have 3 or 4. But one of the kids I have used to be a Griswold kid. He's going to be my leader this year. And he's fantastic. He's going to go on and do big things in college too.
Good.
Smart kid. He goes to the fish school, the marine science. Yep. Yeah. So he plays, his family relocated out that way. So,
All right.
But yeah, it's going to be a good year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm already starting. I've already been in contact with some of the players that I want them to get some off-season stuff going.
When's your season start for lacrosse?
We can start, I think March, that Saturday before. So this year it'll be March 15th. I can start.
Okay.
Our season goes from March 15th, and then usually the first weekend in June is the state championship. So It's pretty long. But it's longer than that.
That's lacrosse.
It starts. Yeah, I got summer stuff going on. Planning for the year, making sure we have the uniforms, making sure I have enough lacrosse balls, which you wouldn't think, right? But last year I had 200 lacrosse balls I ordered before the season, and I finished the season with about 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you lose them. So, and they're not cheap. They're like $3 a piece.
I was going to say, a lot of schools now are doing lacrosse.
Yes, I love it. Most of the schools locally do have lacrosse. Griswold High School does not, unfortunately. They have girls. Who had a fantastic year. But boys, not enough interest. My son went through Griswold, but he ended up playing for Ledyard.
Okay.
They had a co-op, but that's over now, I think.
Yeah.
I think they have to co-op. I think we have 2 or 3 kids that play, but they'll have to co-op with, I think they're going to do St. Bernard or Wheeler and Montville. Could be wrong. Steve Cravino would be more to talk to.
That makes sense, though.
But yeah, a lot of the local schools have it. It's a growing sport.
And our field's set up for it.
Yeah, it's great. I love that. My son is very sad that he did not ever get to play on that field before. So, but he's playing on a state-of-the-art facility out in Ohio now. Yeah. So, I told him to stop crying about it. Yeah.
Hey, I got a couple comments here before we get into something else. So, this guy Ross Dog, who's still following us, he said veteran issues very important. They often are forgotten. Victoria Robinson's on. She says, "Morning, gents."
Morning.
Good morning.
I got Laura saying, "My dad is from the generation of men that don't talk about their feelings and don't go to a doctor or a therapist, and it has resulted in him suffering for many years of depression and alcoholism that is not causing so many mental problems." And then again from Ross, salute to the fellow, even if he is a Yankee fan. He's an Orioles fan.
Okay, all right.
So.
It's all good.
And another individual, Big Burn. Good stuff, guys. So, all right. So we got several people watching.
Awesome.
So it's good.
Yeah. Breaking the cycle, right? We're talking about something different today.
Good.
Yeah. There may be something a little different later on, too. We got some, very important emotional topics to talk about because we're all, we got public servant. We got public safety guy. We got 2 vets here. And, but anyway, before we get into that, Rich, you were going to start talking about something before I went through the comments.
Yeah, I can't remember now. No, I think I was going to expound what he was saying about the schools playing lacrosse and stuff. Like, couldn't believe that there's not enough interest by boys to play.
Well, the problem is we don't have a youth program here.
Yeah,
we would take our youth program kids and would play in Norwich.
Yeah.
So my son grew up in the Norwich youth program. Because we tried to do a youth program here, me and a couple other gentlemen from Griswold, and it just didn't work out. We didn't. The first couple times we had clinics, we had a lot of kids show up, and then it just dwindled down after that. Because it's honestly, it's not a cheap sport to play. I mean, everything costs money nowadays.
Sure.
But lacrosse, you have to buy a helmet, you have to buy gloves, you have to buy shoulder pads, you have to buy elbow pads, you need a stick, and none of that stuff is cheap.
Yeah, it's like football, right?
Yeah,
got to have all that safety equipment.
Yeah, a lot of the schools provide that. Like we at Fitch, we have helmets for kids. A lot of kids like to use their own helmets, which as a parent, I want my son with his own helmet because
Yeah.
I know where it's been.
Sure.
You know, that we do send our helmets out every other year to get conditioned, safety checked, they get certified.
Get the lights out.
Everything is everything gets recertified, and if there's any type of failure or anything, they take it out of service and give us a new one.
You know, Ryan tried it once.
Yeah.
I think we bought all the stuff and he a few games, and my ex-wife let him quit.
Yeah,
so
Dylan when he started playing, he was 10, and I took him to a Black Wolves game at the casino, the first game that they ever played, and he was completely awed by it. He was a baseball kid, and he was awed by it. And I bought him a little stick at the game. He brought it home and he slept with it that night. And I'm like, I think I just created a monster.
Yeah.
And he wanted to play. And before we bought him all that stuff, we took him to a clinic and they said, we have all the equipment. If you want to just come try it, instead of going out and buying everything,
Nice.
if you want to come try it, pay the $35, come to the 3-week clinic on Sunday morning and see if you like it. And first thing he did was, I want to play. This is what I don't want to play baseball anymore. This is what I want to do.
Wow. Okay.
And the rest is history. Now he's playing at a great program in college, and he's doing really well.
Good.
So
Awesome.
Yes, and it's invigorated my love for the game too. I played semi-pro as a young man. I use the word semi-pro very loosely. They used to give us per diem to go play.
Really?
I was still active duty too. So
was that the Black Wolves program? The league
no,
below it?
No, this was down in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
It was outdoor, and it was still is. Infant stage back then, and most of the lacrosse in the country was being played in 2 geographical areas: the Carolinas and Maryland, Virginia area, that mid-Atlantic states, and then the northern states, New York, big in New York, big in Massachusetts, not very big in Connecticut.
Okay.
Because it used to be back then, it was the rich boy sport.
Yeah.
Right. Because the big towns,
it is expensive.
Fairfield, Darien.
I can see why Fitch's got it because part of Groton's a much bigger town than us.
But now they've made it more affordable. Yes, the stuff is expensive, but the schools have equipment, right? Like I would never turn a kid away because he didn't have equipment.
Yeah,
I would find a way to get. If a young man wanted to come play for me at Fitch High School, I would make sure that he had what he needed to play.
Yeah,
good. Through the network that I have built, it's so much easier to get those things, and which is great because I started coaching. When Dylan started playing, I started coaching at the 10U level because he was 10 at the time, not even 10. I coached his team, and I swore to myself when I coached T-ball that I was never coaching again, youth sports anyway, because T-ball was the most frustrating thing to ever coach. Which I love baseball and I love the kids, but man, was that frustrating.
Yeah.
I did a couple of years of that too.
It's my son. It's almost like a rite of passage, right? You have to coach something.
Yeah.
But then I did really well at that, and I got asked to go coach at NFA, and I did 3 years at NFA as an assistant, and then I did a couple years at Mitchell College as an assistant, which was a great experience for me because I learned some invaluable things about recruiting. So I did a lot of the recruiting for them. I used to go to these tournaments and watch kids play. While my son was playing, I was watching other kids and taking notes and then sending emails and calls. And so when my son went through that, it was like going to these colleges for visits, and they were telling my son all these things. I said, it's like buying a used car from a used car salesman when you are a used car salesman yourself, right? It's like, I know what you're talking about. And I would wait till they said something really dumb, and then I would be like, hey, what about this? And they'd be like, how do you know about that? Because I am a college coach. I coach. And then their whole story changed. Now I have my first head coaching job, and
good.
I love it. And I have a great group of kids. I have a great support system at Fitch High School. And shout out to Sean McKenna, Steve Cravino, and Aaron Polonin here at Griswold for helping me get that job, because they were very supportive of me. I was part of the board of ed when I started talking about doing this, and they were great, because I don't think I would have this job if it was not for them, because they really said some really, really great things about me, and I can never thank them enough for that.
Yep.
So
very helpful. I've had a couple requests from Mr. McKenna and staff over there, and they're always very helpful to get answers and things like that. So
despite what you read on Griswold now, they're great, all great people.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it's hung up on the cost of the school system.
Wow.
But you want to know something?
It's America 2024.
If you get out of your box,
yeah,
in Griswold, and you go see what's going on elsewhere.
There's a world outside.
There's the budgets are not that bad. Yes. Typically, it's same everywhere for the school.
I thought it was like the flat Earth where you leave Griswold and you follow off.
Well, here my thing is, and I can talk about it now because I'm not on the board of that anymore. My whole thing was people that get hung up on state test scores because you cannot define a kid on their test scores alone. You can't. There are so many great kids in our school system, and my son, very good student, obviously successful, horrible test taker. Yep. And the best thing ever was COVID to me was for these kids trying to go to college. A lot of these schools are not testing optional. They don't care about your SATs. If you don't want to submit your SATs, that's okay. We're not going to judge you based on your SAT score. If you don't want to submit,
most kids wouldn't qualify.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And because kids get so hung up on what I score, because they get so worried
that
they're worried about what they get on their SATs, and it takes away from them because you cannot judge a kid without ever meeting them based on what they scored on an SAT or an ACT or whatever those other stupid tests are, those state mandated tests. Yep. And there's so many people that I see on social media on our local pages. All they do is harp on, well, why are our test scores low? When was the last time you came to a Board of Ed meeting and saw all the great things that our kids are doing?
And they forget to compare them. So
I will tell you that since I retired or before that, I would start going to a lot of Board of Ed meetings because my wife's on the Board of Ed. Rich's wife's on the Board of she doesn't even want me sitting there and looking at her. But we've been going, and really the only two people who are constantly going are Rich and I.
Yeah.
But there are people there when they do put out awards or or
the kids
comments, kids report out what they've done for the quarter or whatever like that, which is all good stuff because you see these kids get up there, they talk in front of 30 40 people, which is a good experience, right? Public speaking. And it's very good. And then of course when all that's done and then they start talking about school business, they all file out, and then Rich and I are sitting there watching the whole thing so we can really see what's going on. And there's a lot of good stuff going on. It's not like these people aren't earning their pay. These people are trying to make sure your kids are ready for the world out there. Right?
You can only do so much as an educator. Right. And listen, it's a tough job, and I have so much respect for the folks that do that job day in, day out, teachers, administrators, everybody who does that, because you're not going to be able to please everyone.
Right.
And a lot of these people that complain, how much effort are you putting in? Like, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Stay involved in your kids' education.
I look at it as they're complaining about how much money these people make. But the people complaining, go to your 6 years of school to learn how to teach. Then go through the teaching process to get certified. The continuing education afterwards. The bullying from the parents that the teachers go through and the administration go through. They earn their money. And then not only that, but they're building the assets of the future of the town.
Correct. And that's where people lose sight of it.
Right.
But they would rather complain, our test score is this. Well, so what? What are you doing? What are you doing to help?
Right.
And when was the last time you came to see all the great things that we're doing, all the great things, and how those test scores have gone like this since COVID?
Oh, yeah.
And that's directly a result of what the Board of Ed is doing, of what Sean McKenna is doing, and what all the rest of the administrators at Griswold Public Schools are doing. And I see it firsthand. I don't just read comments on Facebook. I don't just read minutes from meetings. I know what's going on because I had kids in the system. I was part of all this, and I pay attention. Right? I pay attention because I don't care. I mean, I would say I don't care. I do care. Obviously, we want our kids to have great test scores, but it's not the end. It's not the end all.
Yeah, it doesn't say much.
Right? It doesn't really say a whole lot about what kind of kids come through our school.
You get up a bad day taking a test.
Yeah.
And then take the test the next day and you do better.
You got to laugh because you compare the Griswold's budgets to other towns.
Yeah.
It's nothing here.
Look at Norwich's budget.
Yeah. It's nothing.
It's crazy. I mean, yes, they're bigger. They have more people. I get that.
Well, Plainfield just had a meeting with Kevin Cunningham not too long ago. We were talking about budget stuff like that. And he's got a much larger budget. Right. And he's trying to combine buildings because he's not getting the enrollment that Griswold's getting right now. Right. So, and they're much more than us, And I've had some comments from people who say, well, we need to have more police for the town and stuff like that. Well, okay,
they got rid of the police.
You know how much? You know how much that?
Yeah,
that's going to cost in the budget.
Pay for that.
Stuff like that.
Well,
yeah.
I can't speak on that because I didn't live here when there was police here, and why the whys of it all. I don't want to say the wrong thing because I wasn't here when they got rid of the cops. But it seems to me like, just based on the things I see on a daily basis on our town pages or forums, it was just about money.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It was about the budget.
But now they want to complain. We don't have this or we don't have that. But you also didn't want to spend the money, right? You want all these things
without the money.
And I don't, and Rich Canova and I have talked about it ad nauseum about the whole economic development, about how nobody wants anything to come into our quiet town.
Yeah.
But no one wants their taxes raised either, which I completely understand. I don't want to spend more money, but if you have to spend money to make money, and if it makes our town better, if it makes our school system better, if it makes our infrastructure better, I'm all for it.
Yep.
I don't care what it is. Listen, you may be for or against, legal cannabis, and these weed shops. They're a huge moneymaker, especially look at Colorado, for instance. I mean, listen, as a conservative, Colorado is not someplace I want to live. Denver specifically, but those people are paying nothing because the way they tax the marijuana and the cannabis in those states, they're making money hand over fist. And I don't understand, for the life of me, I will never understand why Connecticut is not following.
Again, learn from history. Look at prohibition.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You make it legal and you tax the hell out of it. Right? Because not that we aren't taxed already enough as it is, but that's recreational. It's something a necessity. Like the vehicle taxes, I need a vehicle to get back and forth to work. Right. The fact that they're taxing me on a vehicle I already paid tax on with the money that they taxed me on already. So I'm on, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon with my taxes, right? That should go away. Yeah. New Jersey doesn't have vehicle taxes, but their vehicle insurance is astronomical. Yeah, they're paying double what I pay here.
Look at the utilities right now. Electric.
Yeah. Well, I have a feeling that's going to come to a big head very, very soon.
Oh yeah, they're having meetings. They're having meetings about that.
Again, this is if you've seen that meme of the guy riding the bike and he puts a stick in the spokes and he falls down and he blames somebody else for it. That's what's going on. It. Because guess what, Democrats, you voted for this administration. Now you just stuck the spokes in your own wheel and you fell down and you blame somebody else because you were getting what you voted for right now. This is what you voted for. Yeah, you voted for these people to make these decisions, and I don't want to hear Lamont sent him a strongly worded letter to tell him to stop.
Yeah, it's worth toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
It's worth nothing because obviously that dude made it almost $19 million last year in his pocket. Yeah. The CEO of EverSource. How is this legal? I hate when government involves themselves in our lives, but this is one of them instances where we need federal government to step in and be like, what is going on? Because whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, it doesn't matter. Everybody is sick and tired of paying these amounts for their energy bills. Everybody.
Second highest utility rates.
Well, they need to break up the monopoly.
In the nation.
Yeah. And listen, I'm of the belief if everybody said, you know what? We're not paying our electric bills.
So Pura is supposed to protect, the residents, the ratepayers, right? But they're in bed with the utilities.
Yes.
So
absolutely,
and
it's disgusting, and it's happening right in front of our eyes.
Yep.
But everyone's got the cheesecloth over their eyes because it goes with what their party says.
It's a big layer of cheesecloth everywhere right now, right?
Correct.
Look at
but hey, you don't want to cross party lines.
Look at every regulatory commission that's out there: NFPA, OSHA, all these.
Yeah.
Who are the people on the boards? The people they require you to buy the new stuff from when it suddenly expires because it doesn't work anymore after
COVID. You got to wear a mask. Oh, by the way, my wife.
Yeah, she's the CEO.
My wife is the CEO of the company that makes these things. But you better wear them and spend your money on them so I can make more money.
I don't want to get into the whole COVID.
No, I get it. It's just an example.
But I got my own thoughts on the COVID deal. A lot of people made a lot of money and none of us.
Coming back.
And it wasn't us that made a lot of money off of it.
Bird flu.
Follow the money and find out where the corruption is.
You noticed COVID's coming back, right?
Yeah.
What's coming up in November?
And bird flu.
It's coming up in November. Yeah, forget about it. They're going to make me wear masks to go in and vote.
You got to stand in line.
They can go to hell. I'm done with that stuff.
Correct.
You got to stand in line and get your cheese while you're going to vote.
Yeah.
Just like they did in Russia.
Yes.
So, So anyway, that was a very good discussion.
Yes.
That was a quick hour.
It was pretty quick.
So you got anything else that's bothering you right now, Scott?
No. It's my back.
Your back?
From these chairs.
All right.
Buy some new chairs, Menarski.
So maybe it's the weather because my back will.
Yeah. Actually, how are you doing with that?
It's getting sore.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've been playing golf. Like, I am amazed at the amount of pain I'm not in anymore.
Yeah, I got to do more physical activity.
Yeah, I've been playing golf, and a year and a half ago, I was literally crippled. Because you went through it 2 years ago before I did.
Oh, yeah.
And it's literally, like I say, it's literally a miracle that I'm doing the things I'm doing now.
Yeah, I'm happy because I can walk, but I still got, they said I'm never going to lose all the pain.
I have a nerve that runs down the side of my hip into my thigh.
Yep.
I'll never get feeling back in that.
Yeah. And
if it's not back by now, I'm never getting it back.
Have you tried chiropractor?
I'm afraid of it. I don't think a chiropractor. Not with what I have in my back. No, the hardware.
When you push down, it snaps.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I've gone to them, and because I'm a golfer, and there's a lot of action on your back.
I try to stretch.
Right.
But golfing, I have not had. I've played 8 or 9 rounds already this summer, and I have not had anything where my surgery was, where I had the fusion. I have not had any issues with my back.
Good.
I was worried. I played 3 rounds in 4 days back in June, and I was a little sore, but that's because I played 3 rounds in 4 days.
I can do a lot more bending than they said I would be able to do.
Shoveling snow is a hard no. Yeah. Can't do it. I tried it this year and I threw my back out.
Like, I can't lift my left leg up all the way anymore.
That's what snow blowers are for.
Yeah, that's what kids were for.
Yeah, well.
But there's still areas you got to get with a shovel. So
I said we used to have 3 snow blowers at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Nick, Kay, and
yeah.
But they didn't work. They always had to fix them. It wasn't.
They want money.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Capitalists.
So, all right. Well, gentlemen, thanks for the conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
And Scott,
quick.
Come back again.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me ramble about my stuff. I appreciate that. It's an important message. Yeah.
Very good.
Like, again, if there's anybody out there that needs somebody, please. Again, I'd rather hear your story than read your obituary. So please reach out and talk to somebody. If not me, talk to somebody you love that cares about you, so they can tell you, because that's important.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Rich?
Breakfast.
I gotta go to work.
All right. Scott's going to work. We're going to go to breakfast, and you guys have a good weekend. I guess it's after the storm goes through tonight.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be really bad.
It's supposed to be cleared out by tomorrow morning, and then supposed to have a decent weekend.
Come see me at Epicure tomorrow. There's a 1920s murder mystery pub crawl in Newark tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So come see me 5 to 9 Epicure Brewing. I'll pour you a beer.
Wow.
All right.
Giddy up.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Have a good weekend. See you Monday. Mike will be back with Paul.